Before we dive into this story, drop a comment and let us know what city you're watching from. And don't forget to rate the story from 0 to 10 at the end. The rooftop bar smells like burned wood and someone's expensive cologne. Zara sits alone at the far end of the counter, her oversized vintage denim jacket pulled tight around her shoulders, the sleeves covering her hands. Underneath it, she's wearing a faded black crop top and high-waisted cargo pants tucked into chunky white sneakers. Her hair is up in a messy bun held by a single pencil. No jewelry. No filter. She looks like someone who stopped trying to impress people and found peace in it. She is not supposed to be here. The reservation was her ex's idea before he ghosted her 3 days ago. She came anyway. Because she paid for it. And because she is so done shrinking herself for people who disappear. The chair next to her scrapes back. She does not look up. That seat taken? Obviously not. He sits anyway. She glances sideways and immediately regrets it. He is wearing a plain white linen shirt with the sleeves rolled to his elbows, dark slim trousers, and clean leather sneakers that cost more than her rent but look like he forgot that. No watch. No chain. Just him. Brown skin, sharp jaw, eyes that look like they are solving something even when they are still. She looks away. He orders water. Just water? The bartender asks. Just water, he says. Zara snorts before she can stop herself. Something funny? He asks. People who order water at a rooftop bar are either sober, heartbroken, or running from something. He tilts his head. Which one are you? She finally looks at him directly. All three. He almost smiles. Same. The city glitters 40 floors below. The wind is sharp and smells like summer ending. Neither of them reaches for their phones. I'm Zara. Kai. Just Kai. For now. She narrows her eyes. There is something about the way he said that. Not mysterious. More like careful. Like someone who has learned the weight a full name carries and is not ready to hand it over yet. You always this vague with strangers? You always this direct? Only when I have nothing left to lose, she says. He looks at her then. Really looks. And she feels it like a shift in pressure. Like the air before a storm decides which direction it is going. Then we might actually have a real conversation tonight, he says. She does not know why she laughs. But she does. And that is where it starts. Not with fireworks. Not with fate dressed up in something pretty. Just two broken people on a rooftop, choosing to sit in the wreckage together. What she does not know is that Kai is not just some guy who ordered water. What she does not know is that the building they are sitting on top of has his name on the deed. And what neither of them knows yet is that this accidental night is about to rewrite everything. They did not exchange numbers that first night. They did not need to. Because the next Thursday, Zara came back to the same rooftop bar. Same seat. Same messy bun. This time she wore a forest green oversized hoodie with the drawstrings missing, baggy wide-leg jeans with a small bleach stain on the left knee, and her worn-out platform boots. She looked like she had rolled out of a cozy apartment and accidentally ended up somewhere beautiful. Kai was already there. White tee this time. Black cargo pants. Slides. The kind of effortlessly put-together look that either means you never stress about anything or you are extremely good at pretending. He slid her a glass of water without saying anything. She sat down without saying anything. And somehow that was enough. It became a thing. An unnamed, unspoken thing. Every Thursday at 8 p.m. No plans. No labels. Just the rooftop and the city below and two people slowly unlearning how to be strangers. Zara told him about her job. She illustrated children's books. She told him how she almost quit twice. How her best friend said she was too emotional to be an artist and how she framed that and put it above her desk as motivation. He laughed at that. A real one. Low and startled, like he forgot laughing was something his body could do. She told him about her parents' divorce and how she rebuilt herself in the wreckage of it. About her ex. About the reservation. About showing up anyway. He listened like listening was a skill he had trained for. She noticed he never pulled out his phone. Never checked the time. Never looked anywhere but at her when she spoke. "You're doing that thing again," she said one night. "What thing?" "Looking at me like I'm saying something important." "Aren't you?" She paused. "Most people zone out when I talk. Most people aren't paying attention." She studied him for a long moment. The rooftop lights caught the edge of his jaw. The city hummed 40 floors below them. "Kai. What do you actually do?" He took a slow sip of water. Set the glass down. "I solve problems." "That's not an answer." "It's the truest one I've got right now." She leaned forward. Her hoodie slipped off one shoulder and she didn't fix it. "You know everything about me. My ex. My art. My trauma. But you? You're like a locked room. Maybe I'm trying to figure out if you're the kind of person who picks locks or knocks. Which one earns the door opening?" He looked at her for a long time. Long enough that the background noise faded. Long enough that the space between them felt like its own country. "Knocking," he said quietly. "Always knocking." She knocked her knuckles softly on the bar counter twice. "A joke? A test?" "Both." He reached over and covered her hand with his for exactly 3 seconds. Then pulled back like he hadn't meant to. She felt it in her spine. "Next Thursday?" she asked, her voice steadier than she felt. "Next Thursday," he said. She left first. Always. What she did not know was that on her way down in the elevator, Kai pulled out his phone and cancelled a meeting with the board of directors of a company worth 9 figures. For a Thursday. For water. For her. And what she also did not know was that someone had been watching them from across the rooftop for the past 2 weeks. Taking photos. And that those photos were now sitting in someone's inbox with the subject line, "Found him." 6 weeks in, Zara found out who Kai was. Not from him. From a magazine cover in a coffee shop. She was wearing her usual, a cream-ribbed knit top tucked into a chocolate brown midi skirt, white low-top sneakers, a tote bag with a half-finished illustration peeking out the top. Her hair was down for once, loose and curling at the ends from the humidity. She looked soft. Unhurried. Like someone who had started sleeping again. The cover stopped her cold. Callum Reid, the billionaire who disappeared from every boardroom. And there was his face. Sharper in print. But his eyes. His exact eyes. She bought the magazine. She read it standing on the sidewalk. Callum Reid. 29. Self-made. Tech and real estate. Vanished from public life 8 months ago after a breakdown nobody officially confirmed. Heir to nothing. Built everything himself. Known for being ruthless in business. Known for being unreadable in person. She did not go to the rooftop that Thursday. He showed up anyway. He waited an hour. Then texted a number she had given him weeks ago and never expected him to use. "You saw it." She replied, "Why didn't you tell me? Meet me." She came. Of course she came. But she came different. Shoulders tight. Eyes sharp. She sat across from him instead of beside him. She was already pulling away and they both knew it. "Say it," he said. "You lied to me." "I never lied. You let me believe you were just some guy." "I am just some guy. Kai." Her voice broke on the name. You own buildings. You have a net worth that has 9 zeros. You sat here every Thursday drinking water and letting me talk about my sad little life like we were on the same level, and we were never on the same level. We were exactly on the same level, he said, and his voice had an edge now. Not cold. Raw. That was the point. What does that mean? He leaned forward. Elbows on the table. Like he was finally letting something heavy down. 8 months ago I was in a hospital. Not publicly. Quietly. I burned everything out. I had everything and I couldn't feel any of it. I came back to this city and I didn't want anyone to see Callum Reed. I didn't want meetings. I didn't want deals. I wanted to sit somewhere and find out if I was still a person underneath all of it. Silence. And then you sat next to me and called me heartbroken to my face like it was the most normal observation in the world. And I didn't have to be anything. I was just Kai. She stared at him. You used me to feel normal. No. His jaw tightened. I used Thursday nights to feel alive. You were never a strategy. Then what am I? The question sat between them like something fragile. He opened his mouth. His phone exploded on the table. 15 notifications. Then a call. Then another. He silenced it. But she had already seen the name on the screen. Priya. 4 missed calls. Who is Priya? She asked. The pause was half a second too long. And in that half second, the ground shifted under everything they had built. Priya was his PR strategist. That is what he said. That is not all she was. Zara found out 3 days later through a tab someone anonymously sent her. A gossip column. 6 months old. Photos of Callum Reed and Priya Anand at a charity gala. His hand on the small of her back. Her face turned up toward his like a sunflower to light. The caption called them the city's most powerful couple. Zara sat on her apartment floor in an oversized vintage band tee and cotton shorts, her back against the couch, laptop balanced on her knees. Her apartment was warm and cluttered with half-finished illustrations pinned to every wall. Fairy lights strung above the window. A dying plant on the sill she kept forgetting to water. She had built such a soft world for herself. Such a careful one. She called him. He picked up on the first ring. Were you with her when we were meeting every Thursday? A pause. The worst kind. The kind that is its own answer. It's complicated. That's not a no. Zara. Were you still with her, Kai? Yes or no? We were in a complicated place. We had been for a long time. She laughed. Not the warm kind. The kind that sounds like something snapping clean. So I was your escape. Your little rooftop project. Your way of feeling human while you figured out your complicated situation. It was never like that. Then tell me what it was like. In simple words. Because right now it feels like I was the girl you practiced being a person with before you went back to your real life. You are my real life. His voice cracked on it. That is what I have been trying to tell you. When did it end with her? Silence. Kai. 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks after Zara had started showing up every Thursday. After she had handed him her most breakable parts and trusted him not to drop them. She closed the laptop. Don't come to the rooftop, she said. Zara, let me explain in person. I'm not asking. I'm telling you. Don't come. She hung up. She sat in the dark for a long time. The fairy lights above the window buzzed softly. One of her illustrations caught her eye, a small girl standing at the edge of a forest, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, deciding. She had drawn that before she ever met him. She stared at it for a long time. Then she did the thing that wrecked her more than any of it. She picked up her sketchbook and started drawing his face from memory. Sharp jaw. Still eyes. The way he looked when he said, "same," on that first night. She drew the whole thing. Then she closed the book and didn't open it for 2 weeks. She did not go to the rooftop. He did. Every Thursday. Alone. Water. Same seat. Waiting. She knew because the bartender texted her. She had not asked him to. He just did. "He's here again. Been here an hour." She did not reply. She did not go. What she did not know was that on the third Thursday of waiting, Kai made a decision. A quiet, massive, irreversible one. He called his legal team. He signed over the development rights to his biggest upcoming project. The rooftop bar building. He donated the entire deal to a non-profit arts foundation. The one that funded illustrators. The one Zara had applied to twice and been rejected by for lack of funding. He never told her. He just made sure the third application would go through. And then he stopped coming to the rooftop. Because some sacrifices are not meant to be witnessed. The grant letter arrived on a Tuesday. Zara read it 3 times standing in her doorway, still in her sleep set, a matching sage green 2-piece, her hair in 2 loose braids, bare feet on the cold floor. The letter said her name. Said her work. Said fully funded. Said your application demonstrated the kind of storytelling the world needs more of. She sat down on the floor right there in the doorway. She thought about her art teacher who told her she was too messy to be taken seriously. She thought about her ex. About the reservation. About showing up to that rooftop bar alone and angry and so done. She thought about Kai. She almost called him. Her thumb hovered. She put the phone down. She went to the rooftop that Thursday. Not for him. For herself. Because it had been hers too and she was not going to let a man, even a good one, take a place from her. She wore a long black satin slip dress over a white fitted long sleeve. Her chunky black boots. A single thin gold chain. Her hair out and full. She looked like someone who had made peace with something. He was not there. She sat. She ordered water. She watched the city. An hour passed. She was about to leave when the elevator opened. He looked like he had come from somewhere important and left in the middle of it. His shirt was half untucked, a dark navy button-down with the top 2 buttons open. Dark trousers. Nice shoes that still somehow looked tired. He looked like a man who had been carrying something heavy for a long time and had just set it down somewhere on the way here. He stopped when he saw her. She did not move. He walked over slowly. He did not sit down. He stood beside the empty chair. "I didn't think you'd be here," he said. "I didn't either." He looked at her for a long time. "You got the grant." She went very still. "How do you know about that?" He looked away at the city. His jaw was tight. "Kai. It was already something I was going to restructure. The timeline just moved up. You funded it. Not a question. The foundation was undercapitalized. It needed a lead donor. It was a logical decision for my portfolio." "Stop." Her voice was quiet. "Dangerous. Don't make it sound like a spreadsheet. Did you fund the grant that I received?" He said nothing. Which was everything. She stood up. Her chair scraped back. She was eye level with his shoulder and she tilted her chin up. "Why?" "Because you deserved it. That wasn't yours to decide." "I know. You took away my win." "No." His voice broke just slightly. "I made sure you got one." "That's different." "Is it?" He finally looked at her. His eyes were tired and honest and so open it hurt to look at. I messed up. With Priya. With the timeline. With not telling you who I was the moment I realized you mattered. I know that. I'm not standing here asking you to forgive me fast. I'm standing here because I don't know how to keep doing this city without you in it somewhere. Silence. The wind off the skyline was cold and smelled like rain coming. You can't buy your way back into people's lives, she said. I know. And you can't make grand gestures instead of having hard conversations. I know that too. So what are you actually offering me right now? He reached into his shirt pocket and set something on the bar counter between them. A small folded piece of paper. She looked at it. Then at him. Open it, he said. She unfolded it. It was a receipt. From the rooftop bar. The first Thursday. The date. 2 Waters. He had kept it. She stared at it for a long time. That was the night I decided I wasn't done yet, he said. With any of it. I was going to come back here once and then disappear again. But you called me heartbroken in the first 5 minutes and I thought, there's someone who actually sees things. She looked up. I see you, she said. Quietly. An echo. A callback. Something they had said before in a different shape. He nodded once. Like that was enough to stand on. She folded the receipt back up and held it in her fist. I'm not forgiving you tonight, she said. Okay. And I'm keeping my grant. It's mine regardless of who funded it. It always was. And if we do this, whatever this is, no more locked rooms. I knock, you open. Deal? He held out his hand. She looked at it. Then she took it. Not dramatically. Just 2 people deciding to try. The city buzzed below them. 40 floors of noise and light and everyone trying to figure out how to live in it. Up here it was quiet. Up here it was theirs. She did not let go of his hand for a long time. And neither did he. The end.